Good morning, welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. Now, those of you which are on live here this morning, can you just let me know if you can hear me okay, nice and clearly? So with that said, let's have a quick sip of the coffee because that is scalding hot here this morning. Happy days, sounds good, thank you for that, Elijah. So, a very good morning to you. Now, what have we got on the topics list this morning? It's almost a year of YouTube for me. It's a topic which we'll be discussing first, actually, and what the ramifications of that are for the future as well. We'll be chatting about the K-Fu-XFL this morning as well. Absolutely amazed by the what a piece of foam does. Like a bit of, £9 worth of foam board. Absolutely brilliant. What else have we got? Oh, balls deep with the mini Drak. That was just absolutely amazing. You'll find out about that in a few moments' time. What else have we got on here? Oh yeah, we had the little dirty tip staller as well. That was good news. It was a bit of a roller coaster ride with that. The main really topic today is going to be around iNav, and I've quickly just gone and grabbed my Hornet FPV Wing, and believe it or not, there's iNav in there. We'll take a quick nose of that in a few moments' time. And also about the iNav and how the series is progressing as well. I do have one challenge right now. I'll give you immediate heads up. My soldering iron's broken, so I need to run out and go and grab another one. And also a heads up about Banggood as well. And yeah, that's it. And we might even go and see if the Hobby King website is still broken or not. So a very good morning to you. And I can see the chat is very busy there. And I'm going to be brutally honest with you, is that as of 8 minutes ago, I was still unconscious. And I would rather be on time and not fully prepared than late, to be honest. So apologies for being like a minute late going live. But with that said, let's carry on because I've got enough here for us to talk about. And the first topic for today really is going to be 1 year of YouTube. Now, those of you which are new here or relatively new, you might not know the full story. And I'm going to keep this as brief as I can, which is that the 22nd of June last year is about the day where I started posting a video or an episode, it depends what you want to call them, pretty much every single day to YouTube. And that is something which I've done pretty much every single day. There has been times when work has needed to pull rank. And again, I know this is an RC coffee chat, but this does have a direct effect on the future, which is that it all started by accident. I looked back through the stats, and it was the 22nd of June, which was the firm date for right. I've started posting a video every day, and like I was saying, I've posted a video pretty much every single day. Some days like 7 or 8 videos, and some days none. Unfortunately, we had that week or two where work was exceptionally busy. Work is exceptionally busy at the moment, to say the least, as you can imagine. We're trying to deliver some stuff in a very, very crazy time frame. But 1 year is coming up. Now, that was always my goal, to attempt to post a episode or video every single day for a year. Obviously, I've not done that, but I've got damn well close, and I've gone from not a lot of videos to over 700 in of what is a very, very short space of time. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and as I said in the introduction episode a short while ago, which I did on YouTube, like how this channel started, I don't know what's going to happen after the 22nd. I still can't second guess myself because I still have a massive backlog of video content to get out, and it doesn't take up an exceptional amount of my time to do it. Even the iNav series, for example, there's quite a bit of editing and things like that included in it, but we will continue through the iNav series, and I'm sure something else will appear on the opposite side, and we'll carry that series on into the future. The one thing which I have personally learned is that other YouTube channels, such as Sir Bruce, which I'm pretty sure I saw XJet in the chat a few moments ago, they tend to have more success on posting less frequently. I won't necessarily, yeah, Bruce is an exception, but I won't say that the lesser number of videos makes for a higher quality content, because I've seen a lot of YouTube video content. I absorb a lot of YouTube content, and I can't say that that's actually true. Sometimes there's been utter rubbish episodes come out, and I'm not picking on the RC sector, that's just YouTube in general. So I want to give you a heads up. A year is up on the 22nd of June. What does that mean for you? Frankly, not a lot. It's still going to end up flying, you know, so we'll see what happens. So that was the topic which I really wanted to get out first for you, because I feel it's important because of the timing on this. Right, let's move on to topic number 2, which is the K-Fu-XFL. Absolutely brilliant. So those of you which haven't seen this episode yet and weren't here for the RC Coffee Chat last week, which is that this all stems back to Dave. He built a KFM folded, well, it just folded, it was just pieces of Depron stuck on top of each other. This little flying wing that was 80 centimeters wingspan, and the thing is, it flew absolutely brilliantly, and it even inspired me to go on, and Andrew gave me a sheet of Depron and I went and built one myself, and he was absolutely, they fly absolutely brilliantly. However, there was 2 minor issues with that little model, which was, number 1, it had absolutely no glide at all. It had the glide characteristics of a brick. Literally, you powered off and it went plop straight into the ground. And number 2 is that I was enjoying it so much, I wanted something which I could put a bigger battery in. So that's why the K-Fu-XFL was born. The the XFL, folded wing, arm and wing, we covered that one in detail last week. And in short, it flew absolutely brilliant. Such a big, slow flyer. And also extremely nimble as well. Now, I'm going to say, I said extremely, I'm going to say very nimble, but it could be even more nimble. And the reason being is that I'm going to stick some differential thrust in there so we can mix that in with the rudder stick. So we can really, really smash it through the trees. And those of you which have seen the actual FPV made, and you can see that it was quite nimble around inside the trees. But the one thing which, if you actually look closely, is that you'll see that she's doing this in the sky. And the reason why she's doing that is because I was in the top 30% of the stick range, which is quite a peculiar, because normally if you're flying something around slowly, you're normally around about half throttle, or like 40% of the throttle. But this one, no, I was having the poles up around the 30%, and there was like a power band on it. There was this little spot when it would really kick in, and then it would not. So what I've been and done is that I've been and changed the propellers from 10 by 4.7 slow fly, and I've got some 11 by 7 APC props on there now, and that should make a slight bit of difference, to say the least. But absolutely impressed with what was £9 worth of foam board, because it was 3 sheets, and they were about £3 a sheet. Some spare parts, because I actually had the booms here as well, servos, a couple of ESCs, receiver, jammed it in, and off we went. Absolutely brilliant. So my challenge now is that when I get some free time, I'm actually going to make a folded wing, a folded arm and wing, for an 80 centimeter one instead, to see if that improves the glide characteristics of the smaller one instead. So anyway, I've just looked at the chat here this morning, and you can see what's going on above my head. Rich Russell says, morning on, Bristol based on Hull in Rhodes, and it's hot. Good lad, if you're in Rhodes, that's going to be stunning. It's utter cack here. It's exceptionally windy. Put it this way, it would be a good day for slope soaring if it wasn't imminent rain. Not great. So anyway, let's move across to my favourite section of these RC Coffee Chats, which is the section which I get to say a good morning to you. Now, obviously, if you're watching the recorded version, you can see Howdy in the comments section underneath this video. Now, I tell you what, where do we start? Let me get myself back up to the top. Where's the scroll bar on this one? There we go. Right. Good morning, Brad. Good morning, James and Brian as well. Alan, good morning too. Lauren, good morning. Elijah, good morning. Scrolling down. Tim, good morning. Zap F, good morning too. Not really me, good morning. Who else we got there? Extra, which is Sir Bruce. Good morning too. Or good afternoon actually for yourself. I'm going to grab my coffee for a quick slurp. Good morning, Les, as well, and good morning, Andy. Jake and Anthony as well. Scrolling down. Riff, good morning. And I'm pretty sure I saw Jeff in the list as well a few moments ago. 7Demo7. Gordon, good morning. Tim, good morning. Rich, good morning. Killer Dave, Jim, scrolling down. Elroy, good morning. AKO, good morning, El. Zedtoon, good morning too. A couple of new names I've seen in here this morning. Good morning, Matt. As well, and I think I've just scrolled past everybody there, and scrolling down, I think I've caught everybody. Obviously, if I've missed your name, I do apologise. Andy Morgan, good morning as well. Scrolling down. There's been so much chat on it, and I'm still scrolling on the chat as well. So with that said, and Rich, of course, and Roddy. Good morning. Now, obviously, if I've been and missed your name, I do apologise. I'm caught a little bit off guard here this morning, but I would rather be live and roughly on time than late. So, moving on, and again, this morning's going to be a quick one, to be honest. Moving on, balls deep. I don't know if you've seen this episode yet. If not, the link to it is in the video description. You ready for this? That was balls deep at about 70 miles an hour, and you wouldn't believe that we've been so chicken about balls deep for quite a period of time, because if you think about it, the mini Draks are not cheap models by any stretch of the imagination, and mine wasn't certainly cheap because it was actually because as many of you know, it was the first one which we had in here in the UK. If you look back, those of you which watched the episode, have a look. When I come back round for that, is one of the nice traits of the mini Drak. It snaps in. It snaps and locks itself in, and it locked itself in, and that's the reason I went through. Absolutely brilliant. And as many of you have already been and noticed that there is some additional trees, and there's this heart shape in 2 trees on the other hedge line. So it looks like we're going to be doing 2 gaps in one go. And obviously, the next challenge is to do that at full knacker. So that was probably about 70 miles an hour. So the next one we'll do it at a ton. And then we'll punch through that hole. And then we'll go out and just go off to the right a bit. And there's another hole and some trees on the background on the other hedge line. And we're going to do both in one go. Might take me a while to build up the courage to do that, because it is an extremely long walk if I make a mistake, and also it's a lot of money to break if I hit anything on the way through. So we might have quite a few dummy runs on that one, just to make sure that we can I know exactly where I'm going on the conditions on that day as well. Lee, oh man, Lee was late. Someone tell him off. Good morning, Lee, by the way. Good morning, Joe, if I've missed you as well. But Joe, if you're out flying, have fun as well. Okay, next topic was the dirty little tip staller. Now, I've got 2 bits of good news on this one, which is, as many of you know, that I had some challenges with the little... Oh, that's the Focke Wolf. That's not what I wanted. Where's the good flight? There it is. There we go. That one there. Or did I have it on? Oh, there. I already had it open. Apologies. The little Focke Wolf. These little models are well cool. They're apparently part of a whole fun series. And in fact, let me go and look this up on Hobby Balls a moment, because they have the best range of them. And stick this in Fun Fighter. Now, obviously, I'm sure some of you, more pilots which have flown more than what I have, or been longer in this hobby, will probably already know about these. But there's a whole little series called a Fun Fighter series, and there's a Corsair, there's a Spitfire, and there's a P-51. There's Rare Bear, which, by the way, is my favourite one because it is the fastest, obviously, the best. We've got an 86 Fun Fighter, there's a BF-109, there's an F4 F, whatever model that is, whatever plane that was based upon, but I'm not really into my scale flying and stuff like that. But what I am into is a nice bit of fun flying, and I can tell you, I've got two of those now. I've got the Rare Bear, which is just a little speedster, absolutely bonkers, and I've been and bought myself that little Fort Wolf, and it's brilliant fun. Flies absolutely brilliant. It even has the dirty tip staller characteristic in there. I caught it just wanting to go over the dirty little tow rag. If you've not seen the, in fact, if you want to see what the Fun Fighter series is like, go and watch the original one, which is the maiden of the Focke-Wulf. And thank goodness I didn't have to call it the other thing which I'd had lined up for it just in case I stuffed it. And they're absolutely brilliant. You can see the comments above my head. The Rare Bear is by far the best in the series. And it is, and you wouldn't believe it because it's got a bigger cowl on the front of the model. And it is ridiculously fast. I've got the Focke-Wulf and I've got the Rare Bear. For all intents and purposes, they have exactly the same propeller, the same motor, the same ESC, and the same battery. But the Rare Bear is noticeably faster. Absolute crazy little model. But those of you which like a bit of scale, it looks pretty cool. I'm not really into my scale flying. I just thought the model looked pretty, so I bought one. And Banggood came good on the broken motor, which it turned out to be. The load of magnets have fallen out of it. Ugh. Anyway, they came good on that one. And I've also got some good news, because it was later down in here in the on the topics list for today, is that I did receive a full refund for the crushed Rare Bear, which I received. So that was good news. They sorted it out days and days ago. Obviously, we only run these RC Coffee Chats once per week. So good morning, Stu, by the way, and RC Pirates. And Joe, good morning too. Yeah, so they came good in the end. So I thought I'd pass on a bit of good news on that one. That was happy days. Now, let's move on to iNav, a topic which I'm really happy to be covering with you, actually, because just reading your comments and seeing the feedback which we've had on this series, it kind of tells me that I've hit the right kind of pace for the series, which is to assume very, very little. And I was really worried about the iNav series being a very long series, but actually, from your feedback, there are even instances now where I need to go off and maybe do separate subtopics just to make sure I cover all the bases. To give you a heads up, we're making really, really good progress in short. We're stuck right now because unfortunately my soldering iron is knackered. I need to go and get a new one today, and I need to. There's one little episode which I want to go through to talk about the wiring up of the soldering of the pins onto the board. Once we've done that, we're into practical, which is we're then going to go and meet the iNav configurator. So funny enough, that's already been recorded. We'll then talk about the next episode, which I then need to record, is the flashing of the iNav firmware onto the board itself. And then we're into setup, and all that stuff from there onwards is all super practical. We will be following a very, very specific route, and that route is going to be for a flying wing. And I'm really looking forward to sharing this with you. Literally, it will be a case, if you follow these steps along, just copy what you see on the screen, and I'll try and make it as future-proof as possible for you, is that, yeah, we should be on to a winner. And I've been using iNav in a whole collection of models. And again, you've probably seen from how many maidens which I've posted on YouTube, give you a hint on them. I also have a Micro Sky Hunter. I'm going to stick iNav in there. That's why I need the soldering iron, so I can fit it into the Micro Sky Hunter. We're going to have iNav in that one. I've got the Phantom FX61, which did have a vector in it before. And again, basically, these are, because they're so cheap, they are replacing models which I would have liked to have had a vector in them. I stuck it in the Wings Z84. Ironically, it was an easier fit than trying to stuff the vector in the back of it. And my latest incarnation is the Hornet FPV Flying Wing, which I'm sure, I don't know if any of you have seen one of these before. They're 25 quid from flyingwings.co.uk. It's a UK based company and absolutely brilliant. However, they do get knocked around quite a bit because there's not a lot of weight into this and it's not a very big model. And I've always wanted something which would take the edge off it. And what I've been and done, and obviously those of you which are in the Faceballs group have already seen the photos of this, is that I've dug down, and down in there, which you can just about see underneath that orange block, is a OMnibus F4 V2 board. So we've even got a current sensor on it. Absolutely brilliant. And I found a little tiny little GPS unit. I mean, it works. It just says NZ GPS on it. I don't even know where I got that from. It was just been here in the parts box for a very long time. I've got a sneaky suspicion that one is the GPS unit from the CC3D, which I bought as the original quadcopter. I think I watched, what was this, Lee Schofield, Painless 360. I think I bought that as part of one of the original series, which I bought to build a quadcopter and just never really got around to flying it. So yeah, iNav in a little Hornet FPV wing. You may be wondering, Matt, why have you done that? Well, number one, quite fancy the OSD on the screen. But again, remember, I did have a hub OSD board in there before, so I could see voltage, flight time, and current. But that said, I also want to become a little bit of stabilization in it, just to take the edge off it. So it would mean that I would be able to fly it and enjoy it more on a windier day. So that was the main reason why we don't take these. We always take these to the flying site, because if it's going to be a little bit windy, they're going to get knocked around to hell. So stuck iNav in it. So we're going to get that one out for a maiden. Probably won't be for the next couple of days because it's exceptionally windy here in the United Kingdom at the moment. So the UK is the United Kingdom of windiness. Literally, absolutely getting blown away. Looks like it's going to be fantastic slope soaring weather. Happy days. Let's have a quick look. Flying Wing, that's a surprise. Absolutely. And Lauren, I do agree with you. The Hornet little FPV wing is cheap. That's why I own 2 of them. They're great. And I'm sure some of you have seen how I fly them. And they're really, really good fun. Akio says, does anyone know if Banggood sells the 6-pin micro JST wires that are not included in the F4 Pro? Banggood do sell them, but they are in packs, along with a load of other connectors you probably wouldn't use. So that's why I didn't suggest Banggood for that. Instead, go and check on eBay, and there is an episode on that in the list, which needs to be republished this morning because I made a mistake in the other one. Sorry, nothing to do with the actual parts which I missed. It just needed an editing update. So you will see an episode about the 2 missing parts being uploaded later this morning. So AKO, it will be out there this morning. And Dave, yeah, I agree with you. The Hornet is an absolute corker. And Elijah, do I have a bonsai? Of course I do. In fact, I even fixed it yesterday because one of the control horns was knackered on it, and I finally got around to it about 4 months later fixing it. And I've got bonsai, and they're brilliant fun as well. And a bit of a shocker to you, I've personally come to the conclusion that the best motor and battery combo, or the best battery combo for the bonsai, is actually a 2S. And the reason why the best combo for a battery, like battery and motor for me personally, is because I've got 10 of those little 2S battery packs. So you can fly it till it falls out of the sky. stick another one in, and then fly it again until it falls out the sky as well. So we'll be seeing some bonsai action shortly, obviously, when the weather clears up as well. So the leaf... Yeah. It's horrible out there at the moment. Right, so coming back onto the topic, the iNav series is progressing. I will be adding in little ad hoc episodes as we go along as well. Now, I don't think I put it in there. It was in one of the other playlists. I am including other stuff as I go along, and I feel that's kind of like important as we go, because I just want to, like, it's just like a confidence builder, which is that, oh, Matt's doing that and Matt's done that kind of thing. That's the, in fact, where's the playlist? The other playlist is on here, which I've put in there with revisiting iNav. Let me just scroll in here. Yeah, so there was a quick update on the GPS unit. It will run on 5 volts. It's got a 3 volt voltage regulator in there. Yeah, I did a quick video about stuff in iNav into a Hornet Wing. I'm trying to keep this as like as practical heavy as I can, but then do remember we've got quite a lot of theory to cover as well for the setup. So yeah, happy days. Oh, and we did find the cheaper boards on eBay as well. I've got 2 of those coming to me, so fingers crossed they turn up. But for all intents and purposes, they were complete. It was absolutely exactly the same boards. So hey ho. What else have I got in the topics list today? I mentioned about the refund from Banggood. Yeah, full money back from Banggood for the rare bear. They did try offering me 50%, and I frankly said no. That model is absolutely knackered. It's unflyable, and said I'm putting the money into dispute on PayPal, and I got full refund. So they went for their normal route, which was maybe off a little bit back. And I wasn't happy, because there's no way I'm flying that crushed little thing at 100 miles an hour plus above my head. So I need to buy myself a new one. In short, the Fun Fighter series are absolutely fantastic. We had a look at those a few moments ago. They are really, really cool models, but the packaging on them is just diabolical. So my suggestion for the Fun Fighter series is try and get them from somewhere which is a little bit closer to you, because the chances are they're not going to hold up in the postal service, because you've seen the issues which I've had. The actual manufacturer themselves don't box them up, and of course Banggood, the warehouse staff, they'll just go, oh, it's a box, wrap it up and chuck it out, and they don't realise that it's actually quite fragile and it's been poorly packaged in the first place. Such a pity for what I actually feel is some very fantastic models, and that's specifically the reason why I have Hobby Bulls up on the screen right now. Sorry, Hobby King up on the screen right now. Now, we do need to see if the Hobby King site is broken or not. Oh, and by the way, 76. You can't see that actually. We click on that. That motor, which Hobby King had a slight issue with, oh, it's just gone back up. If you have a look, oh, my head's in the way. Let me go into my head. No, wrong one. There we go. They have finally been and changed the price on it, but it's still in my cart for 77 pence. Yeah, nice one, Hobby King. Right, we do need to see if the Hobby King website is broken, because frankly, I'm getting a bit fed up of checking, to be honest, and I'm only checking like once per week now. Anyway, let's go have a look. Is today the day of the Sidewinder? It's not. I'm sure we've got some little khaki quads, as we can see on the top of the Hobby King site, to get through until we see the Sidewinder. Hopefully, it gets released sometime in the immediate future, because I'm really looking forward to that one. But on the flip side, I thought it was coming out in May, and it hasn't come out in May. Instead, we've got Cherison, tiny little quadcopter. Meh, not interested in quads. Really quite fancy a flying wing, to be honest. So, says Pilot, I'm just looking at your chat, by the way, and you can see the chat above my head. Yeah, Brian, this is one of the nice things about, yeah, you always go for the normal route for customer support. If you don't get the answer you want, stick it into a PayPal dispute. You can see the comment going on above my head. So a quick look. Hobby King UK is usually very good with packaging. Brian, I totally agree with you. Their packaging is normally absolutely fantastic. Most of the time double boxed. Says Pilot says, hi Matt, are you still flying your mini Rainbow 600? Yes, I am, and I can tell you that I know that I am because I woke Granny up the other morning by whizzing it past her window at full knacker. Oops the daisy. It's got to be done. And yeah, Anthony's already put a comment in there. Hobby King usually double boxes. Yeah, absolutely. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up now this morning. I've only bought couple of things in the last couple of days. Remember, I was being included in a shopping bender section down in the video description for each episode, and all I've already literally this week has been absolutely bonkers busy. All I've bought is some XTC connectors, but some of the nice ones which have got the nice little covers. Oh, I've got a pack on my desk. Some of the nice ones. Let me put my hand in the way so it actually focuses. There we go, with the little grey covers on them. I really do like those. I think they work brilliantly. Much more like professional finish, which you get with those. And I've bought a couple of F2 boards. F4 boards, but the V2 boards off eBay. That's literally all I've bought for RC in the past week. Work has been exceptionally busy and looks like it's going to be exceptionally busy for the foreseeable future, which is a good thing because it pays for models. Happy days. Just didn't seem to have bought any models. But then again, you can see behind the back of my head, I've got enough models as it is at the moment. Oh yeah, Lauren, a good point. Today could be the day for... Thank you, Lauren, for pointing that one out. Move that out of the way. I've been and moved that off on the other screen. I don't know. I think Lauren's just been and notices this. Thank you, Lauren, for putting that out. The Rag the Nuts Off Facebook group. In under a year, we've gone to almost, well, I'm going to say 999 cool pilots like me and you in the Faceballs group. I do feel that that is kind of an achievement to be able to have created a group of... Sorry, it's sticking to the top of the screen to get down out of the way. I do feel that's kind of a bit of an achievement to have a group of what are so many nice people. We don't really get spammed. We've had like 3 instances of that, which I can remember, and that's going back really quite far. And it is a help each other environment. So I would like to say a massive thank you to you, to those of you which are already in the group. Now, shameless plug for you, there is a link in the video description to the Rag the Nuts Off Facebook group. It is kind of like the after party or the after chat to the RC coffee chats. If you've got a question, there are almost 1,000 other people which could help you, or 999 other pilots which could potentially help you if you're stuck with something. So Facebook's group, links to that in the video description. I have no idea who's going to be the 1,000th member, but it will most likely be today. So the Facebook group really is what you make of it. And my main reasoning behind the Facebook group, by the way, was very simply is that otherwise I will get absolutely inundated with questions and things like that. And I've seen much larger channels, and Bruce, I'm sure you suffer from this as well, is that you'll end up with like 1 billion questions or 1 billion people replying to like on an episode which you post, and it's just physically impossible for you to help or to reply to each individual person, which keeping it into a Facebook group is that the basic premise is that we can all help each other. So if someone gets stuck, it doesn't rely on me. And of course, if I'm busy with work and doing something else, then I can't help that person, which may be you. And that's not a good experience. Whereas in the Facebook group, it's absolutely fantastic. I can dart in there once or a couple of times during the day, and you can see the conversations going on, and someone's posting something about getting stuck and somebody else chips in with their experience as well. It's one of the beauties of a collective experience. So the shameless plug, there is a link to that in the video description for you. So on that note, it really is time for me to wrap up. I would like to say a massive thank you to you for joining me here this morning for today's RC Coffee Chat. Apologies for being 1 moment late. And like I said, Today's session was a little bit ad hoc. I had kind of hoped to have bulked these topics out, and there's a couple of other topics which I want to cover, which are going to have to wait till next week now. If it's your first time here for an RC Coffee Chat, welcome aboard. I'm Matt, and we have a coffee every Wednesday morning, or UK time at least, which I know is rather late in the United States, or in the mid-afternoon if you're in Australia or New Zealand. And we have a chit-chat about what's been going on here with some foam, and just have a chit-chat about RC. So on that note, from myself, Matt, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this episode. I shall see you same time, -1 minute, next Wednesday. And on that note, from myself, Matt, cheerios. Oh, and if you're out flying today, please stick a battery in, because the weather is absolute cack here in the United Kingdom with windiness, and I can't escape the office until Friday, so bit of a pain. So please do chuck a battery in there, and remember, if you have an unscheduled landing, you can always post it in the Faceballs group, because we've seen a fair few of those in the last couple of days, and some of them might have been mine. So on that note, I really am going now. Have a fantastic day, morning, afternoon, or evening. Cheerios!